Welcome to the Path to Mindset Mastery. My name is Brad Bizjack. I am a mindset strategist and coach, inspirational speaker, and creator of Appreciation Academy. And I'm curious, whenever you set a goal, do you automatically know you're going to fail? It's like the second you even try, you just have a gut feeling it's not going to work out. I faced that for a very, very long time. In fact, I was so sick of it happening that I stopped setting big goals because I already knew I would miss them. In fact, I would set more realistic goals that I knew I could hit just to stay safe. And I didn't realize at the time that realism is the fastest traveled road to mediocrity. And why is that? Why is realism the fastest traveled road to mediocrity? Well, if you put a realist next to an optimist, what typically happens? Well, the realist will say, you shouldn't go after that big goal. I'm going to set a safer goal that's more realistic. And they're going to go after that goal and they're going to hit it. And they're going to be right and they're going to hit it. The optimist is going to set that really big, massive goal, right? That's what they're going to do. And they're going to go after it with everything they've got. They're going to be super optimistic, super pumped up, super excited. But when they go after it, they're going to fail. They're going to fail pretty hard. And that means that the realist was right, that they would miss it. But here's the thing about optimists. They try again, and they try again, and they try again, and they role model and find the strategies and find a way to make it happen. So even though the realist is right the first time around, the optimist always has a better life. So the realist will never fail per se, but they'll never achieve a really amazing life because realism is the fastest traveled road to mediocrity. They set a safe goal they know they can hit instead of shooting big and finding a way to make it happen. So that's what I used to do. I used to set realistic goals, and I challenge you, is that something that you do? Do you set more attainable goals? Now, I'm not saying be stupid and say I'm going to go be a millionaire or a billionaire by tomorrow, but I'm saying, do you still set big dreams or do you hold yourself back? So how do we change this? That's what this podcast is about. I'm going to give you a very simple strategy to actually believe that you can achieve your really big goals. How does that sound? If you actually knew how to start to believe you could achieve it, amazing things are going to start to happen. Because if you believe something, guess what? You're going to take more action. If you take more action, guess what? You're going to get better results. If you get better results, you're going to start to believe in yourself more. It's going to be a positive upward spiral. So first, let's backtrack. You need to understand that your thoughts are always the reason. Your thoughts are the reason this happens. And the first thing you can do is change the way you think. And you've heard that a million times, right? You've heard change your thinking, change your life, right? You've heard those cliches. But I'm talking about rewiring the way you naturally think, rewiring your limiting beliefs. So what do I mean by that? Well, you start to tell yourself stories, right? Money is bad. Building a team is hard. My teammates won't do anything. It's so much easier for my sponsor. I'm not enough. I can't do this. I'm too fat. I'm not pretty enough. And if you say that stuff enough times, what happens? You actually start to believe it. So have you ever told yourself a story so many times over the years that you don't even know what part of that story is real anymore? Well, write this in your notes. Whatever you repeat to yourself consistently, you are going to believe, whether it's real or not, because your brain can't tell a difference between reality and something vividly imagined. It can't tell the difference. So have you ever been with your friends at a party over the years, and to sound cooler than you actually are, you'll exaggerate a story when it comes up, and you get laughs, you know, people want you to tell it again and again. So the next time you come back and you're hanging out with your friends, you exaggerate that story a little bit more, and then you find yourself doing it over and over again to where it's 5 years into the future. You're sharing about this story with so much conviction, so much belief, so much passion, and you don't even know what part of it is bullshit or not. Do you know what I'm talking about, or am I crazy? That happens with negative self-talk, only instead of it being something hilarious, it will ruin your life. These are disempowering beliefs. This is how you're naturally wired. In fact, I'll show you in a minute why it's natural for you to be negative. And what happens when you go through life believing this? It creates inner conflict. It changes the way you lead everything, your life, your business, your marriage, everything. If you feel like you're forcing things all the time, it comes from your beliefs. And even if you're doing the things over and over and over again, you don't notice why you're not growing. You don't notice why you're not hitting your monthly benchmarks. You don't understand why it's so much easier for other people. And you just feel stuck and not nearly as much growth as you deserve. Well, to change this, you have to believe that you're enough before the evidence of your life and your business will ever say that you're enough. You have to believe you're a great leader before teammates are ever going to flow into your organization. You have to believe that you're worthy of financial freedom if you're ever going to have a big bank account. And it's really hard to do that if you don't know how, when the evidence of your life is saying that you're not there. It's saying, well, no, you aren't worthy of this. So how do we do this? Well, you can change these limiting beliefs by changing your questions. So better questions will change your entire life. Asking yourself more empowering questions change everything. They eliminate negative self-talk, they explode your business, they explode your marriage. So think about any time you've been angry or depressed or anxious or sad. What's going through your mind in that moment? Well, chances are it's a limiting question. What's going to happen if this turns out this way? Why does this always happen to me? Right there, would you agree that what you ask yourself in those emotionally tough times, that's pretty negative? And those negative questions lead to a great result. So going back to the beginning, like if you've ever faced a point in your life where you're trying to convince yourself that you're good enough or that you don't, or that you deserve something great, but you never really believe it, there's a reason. Like you want to believe it, right? You want to believe you can achieve these big things, but you just don't. So it's like if you do a vision board or a goal setting exercise and you have your debt-free sign, your mansion, your fancy car, your whatever it is, and you set these big goals on a sheet of paper and you're looking at them and you're going, that would be amazing. It would change my entire world. Everything would be different if I achieved these goals, but you have that little voice, right? That's the whole point of this podcast, right? That little voice back here just whispers doubt and insignificance into your subconscious mind. So how do we begin to change this? Well, realize that thinking is nothing more than the process of asking yourself a question. That's it. That's all thinking is. Think about what you just did. You said, is that true? You were thinking about what thinking is. That's what it is. So in those moments of anxiety and depression and overwhelm and fear and all that stuff, what type of questions are you asking yourself? Pretty negative, right? So if you ask yourself bad questions, you get bad answers. Why is this so hard for me? Why does no one else understand? Which is a whole other topic in itself. Why does no one else understand? Why is it so hard for me? Why is it so much easier for everyone else? Why am I so broke? Why am I so fat? Those would be bad questions. And if you ask yourself great questions, you get really great answers. An example of that is, why am I more than enough? Why can I do this? Why am I worthy? Why am I beautiful? Why am I strong? Why am I confident? Why am I more than capable? Those would be great questions. I thought I just had to keep pounding the pavement to get to my goals. And you got to work hard. You absolutely do. But I wasn't realizing that I was slamming down on the gas pedal to get to my destination as fast as I could go while also slamming on the brake. I wanted the results, but I was literally getting in my own way because no matter how hard I worked, I was asking myself questions that went away from what I actually wanted. So an example that I always give my clients, and I recommend that you do this exercise too, look around the room you're in right now and count the number of things you can find that are red. Ready, go. Count the things that are red. Look for red, look for red, look for red. Look for red, 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 look for red. Keep looking for red, look for red, look for red, look for red, look for red. Cool. Write down a sheet of paper or just in your own head, how many things did you find that were red? Amazing. You probably found 4, 5, 6, 10, 20, doesn't matter. But my question is, how many things did you find that were blue? You have no idea. No idea. Why? Because you weren't looking for blue. But check this out. Look around the room you're in and count the number of things you can find that are blue. Ready, go. Look for blue. Look for blue, look for blue, look for blue. Look for blue, 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 look for blue. Keep looking for blue, look for blue, look for blue, look for blue, look for blue. Holy cow! How many more things did you find that were blue, and how many and did you see green and pretend it was blue just so you would feel successful? Right? So my point in this is that when you look for red, what do you not see? You don't even notice blue. And when you look for blue, you don't even notice red. There's a piece of your brain called the reticular activating system. Its job is to fizzle out all the crap you're not looking for, or what you're not focused on. So when you focus on what you don't want, why is this so hard for me? Why am I so fat? Why am I not enough? Those red questions, that negative thinking, that's doubt, that's skepticism, that's pain. And those thoughts will grow in your mind like weeds. This is why Jim Rohn has a quote that says, stand guard at the gates of your mind, or weeds grow automatically. What does that mean? Well, unless you program your mind to find blue, meaning what you want, you'll automatically find what you don't want. In fact, your brain's natural default setting is to find what it doesn't want. And the reason is because it doesn't care if you're happy. Your brain doesn't care if you achieve your big goals. Your brain doesn't care if you hit that rank in your business. Your brain doesn't care. Your brain's primary job is to make sure that you stay alive. It's a survival mechanism. That's it. Your brain's job is to make sure you survive. What happens when you touch a hot stove? Your brain goes, whoa, that's hot, right? So at any moment in time, your brain is looking for what to protect you from. at any moment in time. So when you think about that big goal we talked about, right? The hitting that $1 million mark or $100,000 mark or that rank in your business, what does your realistic brain do? That fear-based brain goes, you shouldn't go after that big goal. You should stay safe instead. Don't go after your big dreams. Stay here, right? Let's be more realistic. So any realist listening to this, if you are a realist, that means that you are listening to your fear-based brain, that piece of your brain that's trying to keep you safe. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's your brain literally doing its job, but you'll never lead yourself to a prideful, beautiful, wonderful life unless you learn to condition it with what you want. The reason your brain does this is because millions of years ago, I learned this from Tony Robbins, millions of years ago, you weren't worried about sending an invitation to your network marketing business. You weren't worried about posting vulnerably on social media or doing a video. You weren't worried about that. You were worried about how you were going to survive the ice age or whatever it was, or how you were going to find shelter, or how you were going to survive a tiger attack, right? That's what you were worried about. So we link up the same amount of fear to going after a big dream as we did to a tiger attack. It doesn't make sense. So apply this to your life. What's an example of looking for red in your real life? Maybe, why is it so hard to build my business? Ask yourself that limiting question. Why is it so hard to build my business? What happens? How motivated do you feel? You don't feel motivated at all. Even when you read positive thinking, self-help books, it doesn't change the fact that you have that voice in your head that says you're not enough, right? So I used to have these really big limiting beliefs of money is bad and I'm not enough for reasons that we can't get into in just this short episode. But what are your limiting questions? Maybe it's, why isn't my team doing anything? Why can't I get it right? Why am I so stuck? Why am I so fat? Why is it so hard for me? Why is it so much easier for other people? Why am I so broke? Why can't I catch a break? Why can't I do anything right? Will I always be this stuck? How come money is so tight? Are you an asshole to yourself like that on a regular basis? That's a limiting question. Those are limiting questions. It doesn't feel very good to ask that. And I bet it leads to a lot of pain, a lot of procrastination, and there you are looking at your life so frustrated with the results you're getting, and no matter how much someone tells you they believe in you, it doesn't change the fact that you have that voice in your head that says you're not going to do this. So how do we do this? How do we change this? Well, when you set a goal, your dominant beliefs determine if that goal comes true. And goal setting is nothing more than the process of trying to create a new reality as opposed to your current reality. That's all goal setting is. And the gap between where you are and where you want to be is whether you're looking for red or looking for blue. That's it. And until that language is consistently blue, meaning empowering, great questions that lead you to a better life, you're going to be stuck. And I know this because I lived it. So if you use the example of, why isn't my team growing? What happens? Try it right now. Why isn't my team growing? Or why is my business so hard to build? What happens? Notice that your brain looks for an answer. Even if you're successful, you question yourself. That's how insidious negative self-talk is. Something you need to understand is that your entire life can be changed by asking more empowering questions. Your brain is a Google search engine. It will answer whatever you type into that search bar. So what if you intentionally reverse it? If your responses are just like a Google search engine, you're going to get an answer to whatever you type in, right? So just change what you type in to your mental Google. You're going to look for an answer, so you might as well ask it a question that's going to lead to a better life. And if you don't plug in a blue question or type in a blue question to your brain, meaning an empowering one, what are you automatically going to find? A red question, because it's your survival-based brain taking over. And when you look for red, what do you not see? You don't see blue, right? So when you say, why is it so hard to build my business? What does your brain do? It looks for all the reasons why you're so stuck. It looks for why you can't do this. So you never find the solution. You only find more problems. When you sit down to work, your brain is literally looking for every reason why you're not capable. So you don't send invites, you scroll Facebook and wonder why more people aren't messaging you. You refresh your online back office and see if more customer orders have come in, even though you haven't done shit, right? And here's what's crazy. The solution is around you everywhere. Blue is around you everywhere. There are amazing people and opportunities and situations that stumble across your life every freaking day, but because your software is running on why is it so hard or red, self-sabotage steps in and you won't even notice the incredible opportunities sitting right in front of you. Right in front of you. Like if you're in the health and fitness world, you won't even notice that person that's in the grocery store checkout line that has high cholesterol and you can literally save their life with your product. If you're in the makeup business, you won't even notice that person that's in college right now that just wants to feel more confident in her own skin, and you have that solution for her and you're not giving it to her, right? Like, there's so many solutions all around you and you're not looking for it because you're so stuck. Like, if you're broke, you're not able to see all these amazing books that teach you how to manage money better. You're only seeing why you're so broke. Self-sabotage steps in. You start to believe that you're broke, so there's always too much month at the end of the money, right? So ask yourself this: why is it so easy to build my business? Or a better one, why is it so easy to rank advance this month if you're in the network marketing space? What happens? You look for an answer, don't you? You look for an answer. And you start to focus on the opportunities, the people you could reach out to, the sacrifices you could make to build your business or your team. Can you imagine if you flood your mind with just that one single step of Appreciation Academy every day? Just that one step out of dozens. And here's the key. You don't even need to have an answer. You just need to live in a question that will lead you to the life that you want, because when you're in the right state of mind and you know what you want, the how will reveal itself. When you know what you want and why you want it, the how will reveal itself. Always remember that. You don't need to know how. You just need to know what you want and why you want it. Just live in an empowering question, because every problem you face is just a question you haven't answered yet. So for your life and your business, your homework coming out of this podcast is to write down all the negative crap you ask yourself on a regular basis. Why am I stuck? Why am I so fat? Why aren't I growing? Why is it so much easier for other people? And you're going to take it, you're going to flip it into its empowering alternative. Why am I wealthy? Why am I so grateful? Why am I more than enough? Why is it so easy to lead my team? 2 questions changed my entire life. 1, why am I so kind to myself today? And number 2, why am I worthy of living an amazing life? Those blue questions that lead me towards the life that I want change everything. I still listen to myself say them every day, because life gets 100% easier if you're 1% nicer to yourself. And what you're going to do is you're literally going to flood your mind with this. Like, remember, if you look for red, what do you not notice? Blue. But if you look for blue, you don't notice red, right? So you're going to flood your mind with this. I used to have Post-it notes all over my house. I used to have on my phone, I would list out hundreds of empowering questions, and I would record them with passion and excitement, and I would listen to them. My wife probably thought I was crazy. I would listen to them while I slept at night, while I did the dishes, while I was on the toilet, while I took the dog for a walk. I still do. I'm flooding my mind with blue, what I want, because I know if I don't, my mind will automatically find red. It will automatically want to be realistic. It will automatically be negative. In fact, if you're negative, it's just your natural way of thinking. You need to program this into who you are with empowering questions. For example, if you're a mother, could you imagine what would happen if you had an alarm that went off on your phone 5 minutes before your kid woke up from a nap or got home from school that said, why is it so easy to be such a loving mother today? Or if you had an alarm on your phone 5 minutes before your spouse got home from work that said, why is it so easy to fall in love with my husband or wife again today? Everything would change. Everything would change from flipping those empowering questions and asking yourself them on a regular basis. So going back to the whole point of this, looking at your goals and not actually believing you can achieve them, the way you do it is by changing your questions from red to blue, and then start flooding your mind with blue so much that your brain doesn't even have a fighting chance to find red or what you don't want. The more you flood your mind with empowerment, the more you're actually going to believe that you can do it. Because think about it, if you open the fridge, what do you normally reach for? Probably something crappy if you don't eat healthy, but if you open the fridge and you have a question there that says, why is it so easy to eat healthy today, on a Post-it note, what do you reach for? You're going to reach for the spinach, right? You're going to reach for the salad. You're going to reach for something healthy instead of the Nutella, which, by the way, I love Nutella. But you get the point, right? What you're doing is you're flooding your mind with new empowering questions. Like, you're planting new thought seeds and you're watering them with a blue question. And all of a sudden you put weed killer on the disempowering red plants. You let those plants die in your garden. And now the only plants that you water are the blue flowers. And within less time than you think, your garden is gorgeous. It's blooming with so much blue. It's giving your life oxygen again. And when your life has oxygen and you feel alive every day, guess what happens? Money, business, success, it all becomes easier, because happiness is what creates success. Success does not create happiness unless you're already happy, by the way. That's a whole other topic. That's the whole point of everything I teach in Appreciation Academy. Success does not create happiness. Happiness creates success. This is how you can start to believe in yourself to achieve these really big goals. When you do this, it changes the game forever. I promise you. So I hope you found this valuable today. Please take this podcast, share it in your Instagram stories. Share it with someone that needs to hear it. Share it with your whole team. Just if you share this with anyone, their life can radically change. Someone at the beginning of their weight loss journey or someone that's just negative all the time, it can radically change their world. Even if they're positive, they can learn a new skill to bring them to the next level. So screenshot it, share it in your Instagram stories, share it on your Facebook, send it to all your friends and family. And if you really need a deeper dive into this program, check out Appreciation Academy. It is absolutely life-changing. Will take your life to a whole nother level. So thank you so much for being here today, for listening to the Path to Mindset Mastery. My name is Brad Bizjack. Go out there today and every day and live your life with a genuine smile on your face.